we met a real politician. Niels Annen is Secretary of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He came to Eidelstedt School so that we could do an interview with him.
Hello and welcome to our school here in SchnappFisch Eidelstedt. Thanks for visiting us. So we are 4 girls of the whole group from our South Africa exchange, and we would like to tell you something about our exchange in general, and the girls from Vredendal will tell you something about their town now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Daniela Kay. I am one of the 8 students who has been chosen to be in this exchange program. So first of all, we are from Vredendal. It is in the Western Cape. It is very dry, very warm, and yeah, it's small. There isn't much to do there, as you can see. So we go to the school, Vredendal Secondary School. There is about 1,100 students. Most of them are colored, and only a portion of them are black students. We have 33 teachers, and us 8 who has been chosen was chosen based on our speeches that we have presented in front of a panel. The topic was about democracy in the South African educational system.
Oh, okay.
On the 13th of May, we departed from Cape Town,
And who took the decision? Was there a vote, or the teachers decided?
The teachers decided.
The teachers decided.
Okay. And on the 14th, we've arrived in Hamburg, where our dearest host has welcomed us.
Okay.
I think what I want to achieve in this project is getting passionate enough and getting confident enough to motivate others in Vredendal or in our community, especially young people, to get involved, because young people there isn't so involved. So hopefully I can make a change.
Yeah, and what we forgot to say is that our whole TIDA project is basically about the whole, or the theme that we want to get young people into politics and get them motivated to do something and stand for what they want. And yeah, that's also the thing I want to achieve with our whole project.
I want to create my own world and want to motivate other people to do that too, because there is another world out of Hamburg or Germany. So I want to, yeah, actually for me it is, because the whole world is not the same. Yeah. We all have a different kind of life. That's something we have to adapt to, I would say. So I want to see something out of this kind of tunnel view.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think that young people are important in politics, and how do you try to make them more involved?
Well, I absolutely believe. I mean, young people, they are the future of our country, of your country. And my political career was based on the engagement of young people. After my time in the school and the school student union, I eventually became the president of the Socialist Youth, which is the Social Democratic Party's youth organization and youth wing. So if I look into the group of members that we have in my party, I see a lot of colleagues from my times in the youth organization. And even if I look at my colleagues now, the state secretaries and even some ministers, I know most of them from my time in the youth movement. So that is a very important aspect, and I think every generation is creating its own agenda, its own way of expression of political will and demands. But every generation needs to find its own way.
What do you think alienates young people from becoming politically involved?
Well, I'm not a young person anymore, so I think I should ask you that question. Sometimes maybe it's the image of politics, and the impression that my voice is not important, that I'm not going to get hurt anyway. And sometimes I can understand that sentiment, but it's not the right sentiment. Because I tend to say there is no vacuum in politics. If you're not there, if your voice is not being heard, then it's not being heard. Then some other person, some other group, some other interest will make the day. And that's what I'm telling also young people here in my district: get involved. You can approach your member of parliament. It's not a problem. People think that it's only happening in TV. But I have my district office. You can come to me. You can visit me in Berlin. You can even become a member of a political party, and you can have a vote. And I once lost an election that was very important for me, and I lost it by 1 vote. So I tend to say that, look, every vote counts, and a young person's vote is counting the same way as an older person's vote is counting.
And our last question.
Okay.
Do you have a message or advice you would like to tell our voters?
Well, I think that don't look. I'm not here to give advice. I think everybody needs to take his or her own decision. But we tend to underestimate the importance of a democratic system, and sometimes also the beauty of a democratic system. And democracy is sometimes messy. It takes time to take a decision. You always have a discussion, and then people think, oh, they're only discussing and they are not deciding. But think about the alternative. Think about what is happening if it's only one person who's taking the decision. And that person may be detached from reality or its original ideas and motivation. And I think if I look at my country, there's a lot that we achieved. On the community level here in my city, but also in the whole country. If I look at your country, with that remarkable struggle for freedom and equality, but also with the problems. And so I'm not here to give advice or to judge, but I think also it was difficult, but South Africa showed that the democratic idea prevailed, and there was a change, and not because somebody decided to leave, but because there was a democratic process behind it. So don't underestimate what it means to live in a democratic country only because you may be annoyed because something is not going to be decided or takes time, or you don't like the person involved. Then get yourself involved.
Thank you for your time, and I wish you a good day and good luck with your work you're doing.
Thank you, and great that you came to Hamburg and visiting us.
Thank you.